Janamejaya said, "What was that great fear entertained by Yudhishthira in respect of Karna, for which Lomasa had conveyed to the son of Pandu a message of deep import from Indra in these words? That intense fear of thine which thou dost never express to any one, will he move after the Dhananjaya goeth from hence. And why was it that the virtuous Yudhishthira never expressed it to any one? Vaisampayana said, As thou askest me, I will relate that history unto thee. Do thou listen to my words. After 12 years had passed away, and the 13th years had set in, Sakra, ever friendly to the sons of Pandu, resolved to beg of Karna. And ascertaining this intention of the great chief of the Celestials about earrings, Surya, having effulgence for his wealth, went unto Karna. And while that hero devoted to the Brahmanas and truthful in speech was lying down at night at his ease on a rich bed overlaid with a costly sheet, the effulgent deity, filled with kindness and affection for his son, showed himself unto him in his dreams, and assuming from ascetic power the form of a handsome Brahmana, vested in the Vedas, Surya sweetly said unto Karna these words of his benefit. Do thou listen to these words of mine. I tell thee today from affection what is for thy great good, with the object of obtaining thy earrings. Sakra, moved by desire of benefiting the sons of Pandu, will come unto thee disguised as a Brahmana. He, as well as all the world, knoweth thy character, that when solicited by pious people thou givest away, but never takest in gift. Thou givest unto Brahmanas wealth or any other thing that is asked of thee, and never refusest anything to anybody. Knowing thee to be such, the subduer himself of Paka will come to beg of thee thy earrings in coat of mail. When he beggeth the earrings of thee, it behoveth thee not to give them away, but to gratify him with sweet speeches to the best of thy power. Even this is for thy supreme good. While asking thee for the earrings, thou shalt, with various reasons, repeatedly refuse Purandara, who is desirous of obtaining them, offering him instead various other kinds of wealth, such as gems and woman and kind, and citing various precedents. If thou givest away thy beautiful earrings born with thee, thy life being shortened, thou wilt meet with death. Riot in thy mail and earrings, thou wilt be incapable of being slain by foes in battle. Do thou lay to heart these words of mine. Both these jeweled ornaments have sprung from Amrita. Therefore, they should be preserved by thee, if thy life is at all dear to thee. Hearing these words, Karna said, Who art thou that tellest me, showing me such kindness? If it pleaseth thee, tell me who thou art in the guise of a Brahmana. The Brahmana thereupon said, I am he of 1,000 rays. Out of affection, appoint out to thee the path. Act thou according to my words, as it is for thy great good to do. Karna replied, Surely this itself is highly fortunate for me, that the God himself of splendor addresses me today, seeking my welfare. Listen, however, to these words of mine. May it please thee. It is only from affection that I tell thee this. If I am dear to thee, I should not be dissuaded from the observance of my vow. The whole world knoweth this to be my vow, that of a verity. I am prepared to give away life itself unto superior Brahmanas, if Sakra cometh to me, disguised as a Brahmana, to beg for the benefit of the sons of Pandu. I will give him the earrings and the excellent mail, that my fame which hath spread over the three worlds may not suffer any diminution. For persons like us, it is not fit to save life by a blameworthy act. On the contrary, it is even proper for us to meet death with the approbation of the world and under circumstances bringing fame. Therefore will I bestow upon Indra the earrings with my coat of mail, if the slayer himself of Vala and Vritra cometh to ask for the earrings for the benefit of the sons of Pandu, that will conduce to my fame, leading at the same time to his infamy. I wish for fame in this world, even if it is to be purchased with life itself. For they that have fame enjoy the celestial regions, while they that are destitute of it are lost. Fame keepeth people alive in this world, even like a mother, while infamy killeth men even though they may move about with bodies undestroyed. That fame is the life of men is evidenced by an ancient sloka sung by the Creator himself. In the next world, it is fame that is the chief support of a person, while in this world poor fame lengthens life. Therefore, by giving away my earrings and mail, with both of which I was born, I will win eternal fame. And by giving away the same to Brahmanas according to the ordinance, by offering up my body in the sacrifice of war, by achieving feats difficult of performance, and by conquering my foes in fight, I will acquire nothing but Hanal. And by dispelling on the field of battle the fears of the affrighted that may beg for their lives, and relieving old men and boys and Brahmanas from terror and anxiety, I will win excellent fame in the highest heaven. My fame is to be protected with the sacrifice of even my life. Even this, no doubt, is my vow. By giving away such a valuable gift to Madhyavan, disguised as a Brahmana, I will acquire in this world the most exalted estate. Surya said, never do anything that is harmful to thyself and thy friends, thy sons, thy wives, thy father, and thy mother. People desire now and lasting fame in heaven, without wishing to sacrifice their bodies. But as thou desirest undying fame at the expense of thy life, she will, without doubt, snatch away thy life. In this world, the father, the mother, the son, and other relatives are of use only to him that is alive. As regards kings, it is only when they are alive that prowess can be of any use to them. Do thou understand this? Fame is for the good of these only that are alive. Of what use is fame to the dead, whose bodies have been reduced to ashes? One that is dead cannot enjoy her now. It is only when one is alive that one can enjoy it. The fame of one that is dead is like a garland of flowers around the neck of a corpse. As thou hearest me, I tell thee this for thy benefit, because thou art a worshipper of mine. They that worship me are always protected by me. That also is another reason for my addressing thee thus. Thinking again that this honoreth me with great reverence, I have been inspired with love for thee. Do thou, therefore, act according to my words. There is, besides, some profound mystery in all this, ordained by fate. It is for this that I tell thee so. Though thou act without mistrust of any kind, it is not fit for thee to know this which is a secret to the very gods. Therefore I do not reveal that secret unto thee. Thou wilt, however, understand it in time. I repeat what I have already said. Do thou lay my words to heart, when the elder of the thunderbolt asketh thee for them, do thou never give him thy earrings? With thy handsome earrings thou lookest beautiful, even like the moon himself in the clear firmament between the Visakha constellation. Dost thou know that fame availeth only the person that is living? Therefore, when the Lord of the Celestials will ask the earrings, thou shalt refuse him, repeating again and again answers fraught with various reasons. Thou wilt be able to remove the eagerness of the Lord of the Celestial for the possession of the earrings. Do thou, after Purandara purpose, by urging answers, fraught with reason and grave import, and adorned with sweetness and suavity, thou dost always challenge him that can draw the bow with his left hand, and heroic Arjuna will surely encounter thee in fight. When furnished with thy earrings, Arjuna will never be able to vanquish thee in fight, even if Indra himself comes to his assistance. Therefore, if thou wishest to vanquish Arjuna in battle, these handsome earrings of thine should never be parted with to Sakra. Karna said, as thou knowest me for thy worshipper, thou knowest that there is nothing which I cannot give away in charity. Neither my wives, nor my sons, nor my own self, nor my friends are so dear to me as thou, on account of the veneration I feel for thee. Thou knowest that high-souled persons bear a loving regard for their dear worshippers. Karna beareth me and is dear to me. He knoweth no other deity in heaven. Thinking this, thou hast said unto me what is for my benefit. Yet again do I beseech thee with bended head, again do I place myself in thy hands. I will repeat the answer I have already given. It behoveth thee to forgive me. Death itself is not fraught with such a horse for me as untruth. As regards especially the Brahmanas, again, I do not hesitate to yield up my life even for them. And respecting what thou hast said unto me of Pihalguna, the son of Pandu, let thy grief born of thy anxiety of heart be dispelled, touching him and myself, for I shall surely conquer Arjuna in battle. Thou knowest that I have great strength of weapons, obtained from Jamadaginiya and the high-souled Drona. Permit me now to observe my vow, so that unto him of the thunderbolt coming to beg of me, I may give away even my life. Surya said, if thou givest away thy earrings to the elder of the thunderbolt, thou shalt also, for the purpose of securing victory, speak unto him, saying, I shall give thee earrings under a condition. Furnished with the earrings, thou art certainly incapable of being slain by any being. Therefore it is that, desirous of beholding thee slain in battle by Arjuna, the destroyer of the Danavas, desireth to deprive thee of thy earrings, repeatedly adoring with truthful words that Lord of the Celestials, Purandara, armed with weapons incapable of being frustrated, do thou beseech him, saying, give me an infallibly dart capable of slaying our foes, and I will give the earrings with the excellent coat of mail. On this condition shows thou give the earrings unto Sacra. With that dart thou wilt slay foes in battle, for that dart of the chief of the Celestials doth not return to the hand that holdeth it, without slaying enemies by hundreds and by thousands. Having said this, the thousand-rayed deity suddenly vanished away. The next day, after having told his prayers, Karna related his dream unto the sun, and Vrisha related unto him the vision he had seen, and all that had passed between them in the night. Thereupon, having heard everything, that enemy of Sivarbihanu, that Lord, the resplendent and divine Surya, said unto him with a smile, it is even so. Then Hadiha son, that slayer of hostile heroes, knowing all about the matter and desirous of obtaining the dart, remained in expectation of Vasava. Janamejaya said, what was that secret which was not revealed to Karna, but the deity of warm rays? Of what kind were those earrings, and of what sort was that coat of mail? Whence, too, was that mail and those earrings? All these I wish to hear. Do tell me all these. Vaisampayana said, I will tell thee that secret which was not revealed but the deity possessed of the wealth of effulgence. I will describe unto thee those earrings and that coat of mail. Once on a time there appeared before Kunti Bhoja a Brahmana of fierce energy and tall stature, bearing a beard and matted locks, and carrying a staff in his hand. And he was agreeably to the eye, and of faultless limbs, and seemed to blaze forth in splendor. And he was possessed of a yellow-blue complexion, like that of honey, and his speech was mellifluous, and he was adorned with ascetic merit and a knowledge of the Vedas. And that person of great ascetic merit, addressing King Kuntibhoja, said, I wish to live as a guest in thy house, feeding on the food obtained as alms from thee. Neither thy followers nor thou thyself shall ever act in such a way as to produce my displeasure. If it liketh thee, I will then live in thy house. Thus I shall leave thy abode when I wish, and come back when I please. And no one shall offend me in respect of my food or bed. Then Kuntibhoja spake unto him these words cheerfully, be it so and more. And he again said unto him, I have an illustrious daughter named Pritha, and she beareth an excellent character, is observant of vow, chaste, and of subdued senses, and she shall attend on thee and minister unto thee with reverence, and thou wilt be pleased with her disposition. And having said this to that Brahmana, and duly paid him homage, the king went to his daughter Pritha of large eyes, and spake thus unto her. This eminently pious Brahmana is desirous of dwelling in my house. I have accepted his proposal, saying, so be it. Relying on thy aptitude and skill in ministering unto Brahmanas, it, therefore, behoveth thee to act in such a manner that my words may not be untrue. Do thou give him with alacrity whatever this reverend Brahmana, possessed of ascetic merit and engaged in the study of the Vedas, may want, let everything that this Brahmana asketh for be given to him fully. A Brahmana is the embodiment of preeminent energy. He is also the embodiment of the highest ascetic merit. It is in consequence of the virtuous practice of Brahmanas that the sun shineth in the heavens. It was for their disregard of Brahmanas that were deserving of honor, that the might Asura Vatapi, as also Talajangha, was destroyed by the curse of the Brahmanas. For the present, it is a highly virtuous honor of that order that is entrusted to thy keep. Thou shouldst always stand this Brahmana with concentrated mind, and know that from childhood upwards thou hast ever been attentive to Brahmanas and superiors, and relatives and servants and friends, to thy mothers and myself. I know thou bearest thyself well, bestowing proper regard upon everyone. And in the city of the interior of my palace, on account of thy gently behavior, there is not one, even among the servants, that is dissatisfied with thee. I have, therefore, thought thee fit to wait upon our Brahmanas of wrathful temper. Thou art a girl and hast been adopted as my daughter. Thou art born in the race of the Vrishnis, and art the favorite daughter of Sura. Thou wert given to me gladly by thy father himself, the sister of Vasudeva by birth. Thou art the foremost of my children. Having promised me in these words, I will give my firstborn. Thy father gladly gave thee to me while thou wert yet in thy infancy. It is for this reason that thou art my daughter, born in such a race and reared in such a haste. Thou hast come from one happy state to another, like a lotus transferred from one lake to another. Women, especially they that are of mean extraction, although they may with difficulty be kept under restraint, become in consequence of their unripe age, generally deformed in character. Thou art born in a royal haste, and thy beauty is extraordinary, and then thou art endowed with every accomplishment. Do thou, renouncing pride and haughtiness and a sense of self-importance, wait upon and worship the born-giving Brahmana, and thereby attain to an auspicious state. By acting thus, thou wilt surely attain to auspiciousness. If, on the contrary, thou stirrest up the anger of this best of the twice-born ones, my entire haste will be consumed by him. Kunti said, according to thy promise, I will, with concentrated mind, serve that Brahmana. I do not say this falsely. It is my nature to worship Brahmanas, and, as in the present case, my doing so won't be agreeable to thee. Even this won't be highly conducive to my welfare, whether that worshipful one cometh in the evening, or in morning, or at night, or even at midnight. He will have no reason to be angry with me. To do good by serving the twice-born ones, observing all thy commands, is what I consider to be highly profitable to me. Do thou, therefore, hail on me, that best of Brahmanas, while residing in thy house, shall never have cause for dissatisfaction. I tell thee truly, I shall be always attentive to that which is agreeable to this Brahmana, and what is fraught with good to thee. I know full well that Brahmanas that are eminently virtuous, when propitiated, bestow salvation, and when displeased, are capable of bringing about destruction upon the offender. Therefore, I shall please these foremost of Brahmanas. Thou wilt not come to any grief from that best of regenerate persons, owing to an act of mine. In consequence of the transgressions of monarchs, Brahmanas became the cause of evil to them, as Yavana had become in consequence of the act of Sukanya. I will, therefore, with great regularity, wait upon that best of Brahmanas according to thy instructions in that respect. And when she had thus spoken at length, the king embraced and shared her, and instructed her in detail as to what should be done by her. And the king said, Thou shalt act even thus, without fear, for my good as also thy own, and for the good of thy race. And having said this, the illustrious Kunti Bhoja, who was devoted to the Brahmanas, made over the girl Pritha to that Brahmana, saying, This my daughter is of tender age and brought up in luxury. If, therefore, she transgress at any time, do thou not take that to heart. Illustrious Brahmanas are never angry with old men, children, and ascetics, even if these transgress frequently. In respect of even a great wrong, forgiveness is due from the regenerate. The worship, therefore, that is offered to the best of own power and exertion should be acceptable. Hearing these words of the monarch, the Brahmana said, So be it. Thereupon the king became highly pleased and assigned unto him apartments that were white as swans or the beams of the moon, and in the room intended for the sacrificial fire the king placed a brilliant seat specially constructed for him, and the food and other things that were offered unto the Brahmana were of the same excellent kind. And casting aside idleness and all sense of self-importance, the prince addressed herself with right good will to wait upon the Brahmana, and the chaste Kunti, endowed with purity of conduct, went thither for serving the Brahmana, and dul waiting upon that Brahmana as if he were a very god. She gratified him highly. And that maiden of rigid vows, by serving with a pure heart, that Brahmana of rigid vows, succeeded in gratifying him, and saying, I will come back in the morning. That best of Brahmanas sometimes came in the evening or in night. Him, however, the maiden worshipped at all hours with sumptuous food and drink and bed. And as day after day passed away, her attentions to him in respect of food and seat and bed increased instead of undergoing any diminution. And even when the Brahmana reproved her, finding fault with any of her arrangements, or addressed her in harsh words, Pritha did not do anything that was disagreeably to him. And on many occasions the Brahmana came back after the appointed hour had long passed away, and on many occasions, when food was hard to procure, he said, Give me food. On all those occasions, saying, All is ready. Pritha held before him the fair, and even like a disciple, daughter, or a sister, that blameless gem of a girl with a devoted heart, gratified that foremost of Brahmanas, and that best of Brahmanas became well pleased with her conduct and ministrations, and he received those attentions of hers, valuing them highly. And her father asked her every morning and evening, saying, Is the Brahmana satisfied with thy ministrations? and that illustrious maiden used to reply, exceedingly well, and thereupon the high-souled Kunti Behoja experienced the greatest delight, and when after a full year that best of ascetics was unable to find any fault whatever in Pritha, who was engaged in ministering unto him, well pleased, he said unto her, I have been well pleased with thy attentions. Do thou ask even for such boons as are difficult of being obtained by men in this world, and obtaining which thou mayest surpass in fame all the women in this world. At these words of his, Kunti said, everything hath already been done in my behalf, since thou and my father have been pleased with me. As regards the boons, I consider them as already obtained by me. The Brahmana thereupon said, if thou dost not wish to obtain boons from me, do thou then take this mantra from me for invoking the celestials, and anyone amongst the celestials whom thou mayest invoke by uttering this mantra will appear before thee and be under thy power. Willing or not, by virtue of this mantra, that deity in gentle guise and assuming the obedient attitude of a slave will become subject to thy power. Thus addressed, that thoughtless maiden could not, from fear of a curse, refuse for the second time compliance with the wishes of that best of the twice-born ones. Then that Brahmana imparted unto that girl of faultless limbs those mantras which are recited in the beginning of the Atiharvan Veda. And having imparted unto her those mantras, he said unto Kunti Behoja, I have dwelt happily in thy house, always worshipped with due regard and gratified by thy doctor. I shall now depart. And saying this, he vanished there and then. And beholding that Brahmana vanished there and then, the king was struck with amazement, and the monarch then treated his daughter Pritha with proper regard. When that foremost of Brahmanas had gone away on some other errand, the maiden began to ponder over the virtue of those mantras, and she said to herself, of what nature are those mantras that have been bestowed on me by that high-souled one? I shall, without delay, test their power. And as she was thinking in this way, she suddenly perceived indications of the approach of her season, and her season having arrived while she was yet unmarried, she blushed in shame, and it came to pass that, as she was seated in her chamber on a rich bed, she beheld the solar orb rising in the east, and both the mind and the eyes of that maiden of excellent waist became riveted fast upon the solar orb, and she gazed on that orb without being satiated with the beauty of the morning sun, and she suddenly became gifted with celestial sight. And then she beheld that god of divine form, accoutred in mail, and adorned with earrings. And at sight of the god, she became curious as to the mantras, and thereupon that maiden resolved to invoke him, and having recourse to pranayama, she invoked the maker of day, and thus invoked by her, the maker of day speedily presented himself, and he was of a yellowish hue like honey, and was possessed of mighty arms, and his neck was marked with lines like those of a conch shell, and furnished with armlets, and decked with a diadem. He came smiling and illumining all the directions, and it was by yoga power that he divided himself in twain, one of which continued to give heed, and the other appeared before Kunti, and he addressed Kunti in words that were exceedingly sweet, saying, overpowered by the mantras, I come hither obedient to thee, subject as I am to thy power. What shall I do? Tell me, for I shall do whatever thou mayest command. Hearing these words of the deity, Kunti said, Go thou back to the place thou hast come from. I invoked thee from curiosity alone. Pardon me. Surya then said, I will, even as thou hast said, return to the place I have come from. Having called a celestial, it is not, however, proper to send him away in vain. Thy intention, it is to have from Surya a son furnished with a coat of mail and earrings, and who in point of prowess would be beyond compare in this world. Do thou, therefore, surrender thy person to me. Thou shalt then have a son after thy wish. I will go back after having known thee. If thou do not gratify me today by obeying my word, I shall in anger curse thee, thy father, and that Brahmana. For thy fault I will surely consume them all, and I shall inflict condign punishment on that foolish father of thine, that knoweth not this transgression of thine, and on that Brahmana who hath bestowed the mantras on thee without knowing thy disposition and character. Yonder are all the celestials in heaven, with Purandara at their head, who are looking at me with derisive smiles at my being deceived by thee. Look at those celestials, for thou art now possessed of celestial sight. Before this I have endowed thee with celestial vision, in consequence of which thou couldst see me. Thereupon the prince beheld the celestials standing in the firmament, each in his proper sphere, even as she saw before her that highly resplendent deity, furnished with rays, Surya himself. And beholding them all, the girl became frightened, and her face was suffused with blushes of shame. And then she addressed Surya, saying, Go thou back to thy own region, on account of my maidenhood. This outrage of thine is fraught with woe to me. It is on own father, mother, and other superiors that are capable of giving away their daughter body. Verily, I shall never sacrifice, seeing that in this world the keeping of their persons inviolate is deemed as the highest duty of woman, and is held in high regard. It is only to test the power of my mantras that I have from mere childishness summoned thee, considering that this hath been done by a girl of tender years. It behoveth thee to forgive her. Then Surya said, It is because I consider thee a girl. I am speaking to thee so mildly. To own that is not, I will not concede this. Do thou surrender thyself. Thou shalt surely attain happiness thereby. Since thou hast invoked me with mantras, it is not proper for me to go away without any purpose being attained. For if I do, I shall then be the object of laughter in the world, and I by word with all the celestials. Do thou yield to me, by that thou shalt obtain a son even like myself, and thou shalt be much praised in all the world. Although that noble girl addressed him in various sweet words, yet she was unable to dissuade that deity of 1,000 rays, and when she failed to dissuade the dispeller of darkness, at last, from fear of a curse, she reflected for a long time. How may my innocent father and that Brahmana escape the angry Surya curse for my sake? Although energy and asceticism are capable of destroying things, yet even honest persons, if they be of an hip age, should not foolishly court them. By foolishly acting in that way, I have today been placed in a frightful situation. Indeed, I have been placed entirely within the grasp of this deity. Yet how can I do what is sinful by taking it on myself to surrender my person to him? Afflicted with fear of a curse, and thinking much within herself, an utter stupefaction of the senses came upon her, and she was confounded that she could not settle what to do, afraid on the one hand of the reproach of friends if she obeyed the deity, and on the other of his curse if she disobeyed him. The damsel at last said these words unto that god in a sense tremulous with bashfulness. As my father and mother and friends are still living, this violation of duty on my part should not take place. If I commit this unlawful act with thee, the reputation of this race shall be sacrificed in this world on my account. If thou, however, deem this to be a meritorious act, I shall then fulfill thy desire, even though my relatives may not have bestowed me on thee. May I remain chaste after having surrendered my person to thee. Surely the virtue, the reputation, the fame, and the life of every creature are established in thee. Hearing these words of hers, Surya replied, Neither thy father, nor thy mother, nor any other superior of thine is competent to give thee away. May good betide thee. Do thou listen to my words. It is because a virgin desireth the company of every one that she hath received the appellation of Kanya from the root Kama, meaning to desire. Therefore, a virgin is, by nature, free in this world. Thou shalt not, by any means, be guilty of anything by complying with my request. And how can I, who am desirous of the welfare of all creatures, commit an unrighteous act, that all men and women should be bound by no restraints, is the law of nature. The opposite condition is the perversion of the natural state. Thou shalt remain a virgin after having gratified me, and thy son shall be might armed and illustrious. Thereupon Kunti said, If I obtain a son from thee, may he be furnished with a coat of mail and earrings, and may be he might armed and ended with great strength. Hearing these words of hers, Surya answered, Thy son shall be might armed and decked with earrings, and a celestial coat of mail, and both his earrings and coat of mail will be made of amrita, and his coat will be invulnerable. Kunti then said, If the excellent mail and earrings of the son thou wilt beget on me be indeed made of amrita, then let thy purpose be fulfilled. May he be powerful, strong, energetic, and handsome, even like thee, and may he be endowed with virtue. Surya then said, These earrings had been given to me by Aditi. I will bestow them, as also this excellent mail, on thy son. Kunti then said, Very well, if my son become, I will, as thou sayest, gratify thee. Hearing these words of hers, Surya said, So be it, and that hanger of disguise, that enemy of Sivarvihanu, which so absorbed in yoga, entered into Kunti, and touched her on the navel. At this, that damsel, on account of Surya energy, became stupefied, and that reverend lady then fell down on her bed, deprived of her senses. Surya then addressed her, saying, I will not depart. Thou shalt bring forth our son, who will become the foremost of our yielders of weapons. At the same time, thou shalt remain a virgin. Then, as the highly effulgent Surya was about to depart, that girl bashful said unto him, So be it. And it was thus that the daughter of King Kunti Bhoja, importunate by Surya, had after soliciting a son from him, fallen down stupefied on that excellent bed, like a broken creeper. And it was thus that deity of fierce rays, stupefying her, entered into her by virtue of yoga power, and placed his own self within her womb. The deity, however, did not soothe her by deflowering her in the flesh, and after Surya had gone away, that girl regained her consciousness. It was on the first day of the lighted fortnight, during the 10th month of the year, that Pritha conceived a son like the Lord himself of the stars in the firmament, and that damsel of excellent hips, from fear of her friends, concealed her conception, so that no one knew her condition. And as the damsel lived entirely in the apartments assigned to the maidens, and careful concealed her condition, no one except her nurse knew the truth. And in due time, that Beatrice's maiden, by the grace of the deity, brought forth a son resembling a very god, and even like his father. The child was equipped in a coat of mail, and decked with brilliant earrings, and he was possessed of leonine eyes and shoulders like those of a bull. And no sooner was the Beatrice's girl delivered of a child, then she consulted with her nurse, and placed the infant in a commodious and smooth box made of wicker work, and spread over with soft sheets, and furnished with a costly pillow, and its surface was laid over with wax, and it was encased in a rich cover. And with tears in her eyes, she carried the infant to the river Asva, and consigned the basket to its waters. And although she knew it to be improper for an unmarried girl to bear offspring, yet from parental affection, she wept piteously. Do thou listen to the words Kunti weeping uttered, while consigning the box of the waters of the river Asva. May good betide thee at the hands of all that inhabit the land, the water, the sky, and the celestial regions. May all thy paths be auspicious. May no one obstruct thy way. And may all that come across thee have their hearts divested of hostility towards thee. And may that Lord of waters, Varuna, protect thee in water. And may the deity that hangeth the skies completely protect thee in the sky. And may that best of those that impart heat, Surya, thy father, and from whom I have obtained thee as ordained by destiny, protect thee everywhere. And may the Adityas and the Vasus, the Rudras and the Sadhyas, the Visvadevas and the Maruts, and the cardinal points with the great Indra and the regents presiding over them, and indeed all the celestials, protect thee in every place. Even in foreign lands, I shall be able to recognize thee by this mail of thine. Surely thy sire, the divine Surya, possessed of the wealth of splendor, is blessed, for he will with his celestial sight behold thee going down the current. Blessed is that lady who will take thee for her son, and who will give thee suck when thou art thirst. And what a look dream hath been dreamed by her that will adopt thee for her son. Thee that is endowed with solar splendor, and furnished with celestial mail, and adorned with celestial earrings. Thee that hast expansive eyes resembling lotuses, a complexion bright as burnished copper or lotus leaves, a fair forehead, and hair ending in beautiful curls. She that will behold thee crowned on the ground, begrimed with dust, and sweetly uttering inarticulate words, is surely blessed. And she that will behold thee arrive at thy youthful prime like is maned lion born in Himalayan forests, is surely blessed. Having thus bewailed long and piteously, Pritha laid the basket on the waters of the river Asva, and the lotus-eyed damsel, afflicted with grief on account of her son, and weeping bitterly with her nurse, cast the basket at dead of night, and Tog, desirous of beholding her son often and again, returned to the palace, fearing lest her father should come to know of what had happened. Meanwhile, the basket floated from the river Asva to the river Kharmanvati, and from the Kharmanvati it passed to Yamuna, and on to the Ganga, and carried by the waves of the Ganga, the child contained in the basket came to the seat of Hampa, ruled by a person of the Sutta tribe. Indeed, the excellent coat of mail and those earrings made of amrita that were born with his body, as also the ordinance of destiny, kept the child alive. And it came to pass that, at this time, a Sutta named Adihihatiha, who was a friend of Dhritarashtra, came to the river Ganga, accompanied by his wife, and his wife, named Hadiha, was unparalleled on earth for beauty, and Autog, that highly blessed dame, had made great endeavors to obtain a son, yet she had failed to obtain one, and on coming to the river Ganga, she beheld a box drifting along the current, and containing articles capable of protecting from dangers, and decked with unguents. That the box was brought before her by the waves of the Janhavi, and attracted by curiosity, the lady caused it to be seized. And she then related out unto Adihihatiha of the Shariata caste, and hearing this, Adihihatiha took away the box from the water side, and opened it by means of instruments. And then he beheld a boy resembling the morning sun, and the infant was furnished with golden mail, and looked exceedingly beautiful with a face decked in earrings. And thereupon the Shariota, together with his wife, was struck with such astonishment that their eyes expanded in wonder. And taking the infant on his lap, Adihihatiha said unto his wife, Ever since I was born, I had never seen such a wonder. The child that hath come to us must be of celestial birth. Surely, sonless as I am, it is the gods that have sent him unto me. Saying this, he gave the infant to Hadha, and Hadha adopted according to the ordinance the child of celestial form and divine origin, and possessed of the splendor of the filaments of the lotus, and furnished with excellent grace, and duly reared by her, the child endowed with great prowess began to grow up, and after carnal adoption, Adihihatiha had other sons begotten by himself. And seeing the child furnished with bright mail and golden earrings, the twice born ones named him Vasusena, and thus did that child endowed with great splendor and immeasurably prowess, became the son of the Shariota, and come to be known as Vasusena and Vrisha and Pritha, learned through spies that her own son, clad in celestial mail, was growing up amongst the Angas as the heir son of a Shariota, and seeing that in process of time his son had grown up, Adihatiha sent him to the seat named after the elephant, and there Karna put up with Drona for the purpose of learning arms, and that powerful youth contracted a friendship with Duryodhana, and having acquired all the four kinds of weapons from Drona, Kripa, and Hama, he became famous in the world as a mighty bowman, and after having contracted a friendship with Dhritarashtra's son, he became intent on injuring the sons of Pritha, and he was always desirous of fighting with the high-souled Falguna, and ever since they first saw each other, Karna always used to challenge Arjuna, and Arjuna, on his part, used to challenge him. This was without doubt the secret known to the son, begotten by himself on Kunti. Karna was being reared in the haze of the Sutas, and beholding him decked with his earrings and mail, Yudhishthira thought him to be unslayably in fact, and was exceedingly pained at it. And when Karna, after rising from the water, used at midday to worship the effulgent Surya with joined hands, the Brahmanas used to solicit him for wealth, and at that time there was nothing that he would not give away to the twice-born ones. And Indra, assuming the guise of a Brahmana, appeared before him and said, "Give me." And thereupon Hariha's son replied unto him, "Thou art welcome." And when the king of the Celestials presented himself in the guise of a Brahmana, beholding him, Karna said, "Welcome," and not knowing his intention, Adihatiha's son addressed the Brahmana, saying, "Of a necklace of gold, and beauteous damsels, and villages, with plenty of kine, which shall I give thee?" Thereupon the Brahmana replied, "I ask thee not to give me either a necklace of gold, or fair damsel, or any other agreeable object. To those do thou give them that ask for them. If thou art sincere in thy vow, then wilt thou cutting off this coat of mail born with thy body, and these earrings, bestow them on me. I desire that thou mayest speedily give me these, for this own gain of mine will be considered as superior to every other gain." Hearing these words, Karna said, "I will give thee homestead land, and fair damsels, and kine, and fields. My mail and earrings I am unable to give thee." Our talk, thus urged with various words by Karna, is still that the Brahmana did not ask for any other boon, and our talk, Karna sought to pacify him to the best of his power, and worshipped him duly, yet that best of Brahmanas did not ask for any other boon. And when that foremost of Brahmanas did not ask for any other boon, Hariha's son again spake unto him with a smile, "My mail hath been born with my body, and this pair of earrings hath arisen from Amrita. It is for this that I am unslayably in the world. Therefore I cannot part with them. Do thou accept from me the entire kingdom of the earth, rid of enemies and full of prosperity. If I am deprived of my earrings, and the mail born with my body, I shall be liable to be vanquished by the foes." When the illustrious slayer of Paka refused to ask for any other boon, Carne, with a smile, again addressed him, saying, "Even before this I had recognized thee. It is not proper for me to confer on thee an unprofitably boon, for thou art the very Lord of the celestials. On the contrary, being as thou art the Creator and Lord of all beings, it is thou that shouldst confer boons on me. If I give thee this coat of mail and earrings, then I am sure to meet with destruction, and thou shalt also undergo ridicule. Therefore, take my earrings and excellent mail in exchange for something conferred by thee on me, otherwise I will not bestow them on thee." Thereupon Sakra replied, "Even before I had come to thee, Surya had known of my purpose, and without doubt it is he that hath unfolded everything unto thee. Be it as thou wishest, except the thunderbolt alone. Tell me what it is that thou desirest to have." Hearing these words of Indra, Karna was filled with delight, and seeing that his purpose was about to be accomplished, he approached Vasava, and intent upon obtaining a dart incapable of being baffled, he addressed Indra, saying, "Do thou, in exchange for my coat of mail and earrings, give me a dart incapable of being baffled, and competent to destroy hosts of enemies when arrayed in order of battle." Thereupon, fixing his mind for a moment on the dart, Vasava thus spake unto Karna, "Do thou give me thy earrings and the coat of mail born with thy body, and in return take this dart on these terms: When I encounter the deity in battle, this dart that is incapable of being baffled, hurled by my hand, destroyeth enemies by hundreds, and cometh back to my hand after achieving its purpose. In thy hand, however, this dart will slay an powerful enemy of thine, and having achieved that feat, it will, roaring and blazing, return to me." Karna said, "I desire to slay in fierce fight even an enemy of mine, who roareth fiercely and is hot as fire, and of whom I am in fear." At this Indra said, "Thou shalt slay such a roaring and powerful foe in battle, but that on whom thou seekest to slay is protected by an illustrious personage, even he whom persons versed in the Vedas call the invincible boar and the incomprehensible Narayana, even that Krishna himself is protecting him." Thereupon Karna replied, "Even if these be, do thou give me the weapon that will destroy an powerful foe. I shall on my part bestow on thee my mail and earrings, cutting them off my person. Do thou, however, grant that my body, thus wounded, may not be unsightly." Hearing this, Indra said, "As thou art bent upon observing the truth, thy person shall not be unsightly, or shall any scar remain on it. And thou shalt be possessed of complexion and energy of thy father himself. And if, maddened by wrath, thou holdest this dart, while there are still other weapons with thee, and when thy life is not in imminent peril, it will fall even on thyself." Karna answered, "As thou directest me, I shall hold this Vasavi dart only when I am in imminent peril. Truly I tell thee this." Thereupon, taking the blazing dart, Karna began to peel off his natural mail, and, beholding Karna cutting his own body, the entire host of celestials and men and Danavas set up a leonine roar. And Karna betrayed no contortions of face while peeling his mail, and beholding that hero among men, thus cutting his body with an weapon, smiling ever and anon, celestial cattle drums began to be played upon, and celestial flowers began to be showered on him. And Karna, cutting off the excellent mail from his person, gave it to Vasava, still dripping, and cutting off his earrings from off his ears, he made them over to Indra. And it is for this fact that he came to be called Karna. And Sakra, having thus beguiled Karna death, made him famous in the world, talked with a smile that the business of the sons of Pandu had already been completed, and having done all this, he ascended to heaven. And hearing that Karna had been beguiled, all the sons of Dhritarashtra became distressed and shorn of pride, and the sons of Pritha, on the other hand, learning that such plight had befallen the son of the charioteer, were filled with joy. Janamejaya said, when were those heroes the sons of Pandu at that time, and from whom did they hear this welcome news, and what did they do when the 12th year of their exile passed away? Do thou tell me all this. Having defeated the chief of the Sandhavas and rescued Krishna, and having outlived the entire term of their painful exile in the woods, and having listened to the ancient histories about gods and rishis recited by Markandeya, those heroes among men returned from their asylum in Kamyaka to the sacred Vana with all their cars and followers, and accompanied by their charioteers, their kind, and the citizens who had followed them.